call the meeting to order. Have a moment of silence. Amen. Please stay standing for the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have you had a chance to read the minutes?
Yes, I did.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion to approve the last minutes of our September 3rd meeting.
Motion has been made to approve the minutes of the last meeting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Minutes accepted. Correspondence. Have an invitation from the West Fork Conservation District Board of Supervisors. Cordially invites you to our agriculture and educational program dinner. Please join us on Thursday, October 17th at Jackson's Mills Dining Hall in Weston, West Virginia. Dinner will be served at 6:30 p.m. Please let the West Fork District Conservation District know if you will be joining us by calling your office, 304-627-2160, by October 10th. We look forward to seeing you. Okay. Each person got to read this, didn't you? Okay. All right. Okay. That's all the correspondence I have. Meeting. Go to public comment. I'll read your name and you can tell me if you want. Pat. Ray Robson. Kay Hudson.
Yes, sir.
Mariana.
Yes.
Wait, I'll get ready. You ready?
Did you let 3 minutes go through already?
Ready? No. Ready?
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to give you guys an update. JB Oil and Gas started drilling on the Chris Cobbin property again. They started, I believe it was on Friday. Now, according to the end result of the appeal that was done, the pit that they had there was supposed to be removed and something else was supposed to be in place. That has not been done. There's also supposed to be a berm around the whole site. That has not been done. They have pretty much resumed on the site as the site was when it was shut down. So I don't know what enforcement is in place, but I specifically drove by there today before I came here to make sure that what I was told was correct. And they are drilling. So I'm just curious as to what happens now since they are not in compliance with what you guys had agreed would be done.
Okay. I will contact Dan.
Oh, that's another, I've been copying you guys on emails to Dan. It's distressing to me that it takes, I finally got a response after my 4th request. And I believe he didn't copy you guys on the response he sent me. But it took 4 emails over a course of, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. It's distressing to me that a public employee does not respond to the constituents in this county when they ask questions. I mean, maybe I'm not following the proper process, or maybe I should be doing something else. If there is something else I should be doing, I would be happy to follow whatever process is in place. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Doc. Come in. Okay, thank you. next name. Somebody with, in your group, Randy.
Rhonda Dale.
Who?
Rhonda Dale.
Rhonda? What's this one here? Sandra? Sure, Sandra?
Sandrina, no.
Okay. Don't know this one either.
Nick?
Sorry.
No.
Nick?
No.
Randy?
No, sir.
No. David, we should speak. Doc, would you like to speak? Okay. Two more came in.
Mr. Zorn.
Who? Oh, I didn't see what was going on. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's, no, not give you one? Yeah, that's mine. You can have that. Thank you. Thanks very much. Okay. New business, Rodney Trent, not here.
She said, call and remind me, he forgot last time he was supposed to come. She called and reminded me that.
Patricia Farabee, she
She
here?
called, this afternoon, about 3 o'clock, and said she had been ill and she didn't want to give her flu out to anybody else.
Thank you.
That she will, come at a later date, and I told her that she needed to either come in and see you all or file a written complaint concerning dogs not being on the leash and the county, so she was supposed to get in contact with you later.
Well, we appreciate her not running in any bugs in here so everybody gets sick. Pat Easter, you're up.
Okay, I'm here tonight as president of Dodgers County Fire Rescue. Change the past here a little bit. On September the 10th, we had a fire rescue meeting and about the ordinance or the billing for the we met with the billing company to MCA to discuss the billing for the insured motor vehicle and transportation accidents. The lady that came up from Huntington was very nice. She was very to the point. She suggested that we create an ordinance and have you guys pass it. She says it solves a lot of problems down the road for the billing. Later after she left, we discussed everything and we only had a minor questions and we voted to go ahead and go with MCA for our billing. She emailed me, or faxed me a blank ordinance and we plagiarized it to death, as I told the assistant prosecuting attorney. And it changed the names to protect the innocent here, and this is the ordinance that we wish to put before you tonight. And if you can adopt this, then everything will start. The other thing that was not clear at the meeting, afterwards, the next day when I talked to her, she said that each company had to sign an individual contract. Each one of the fire departments had to sign an individual contract. If we don't, at the end of the year, she said it'd be a tax nightmare for the fire department with their 1099s, because if we do it under fire rescue, then there's one number where there's 5 fire departments out there, and we've got to turn all that in. There's no taxes to pay, but we still have to report everything under our 1099. But this is the ordinance. It's generic. It says that people may or may not be insured and or may not have property in Dodgers County, and they may or may not pay taxes here, and it wouldn't be fair to people in Dodgers County to raise taxes here, so it's given us the right to bill. And if there's any misspelled words, I had Bud Wells for fat finger typing 102. And I'm proud of myself. I was up to 12 words a minute with only 42 errors. So, that's what I'm here for tonight. The assistant prosecuting attorney read it. She blessed it. She said it was generic enough that probably wouldn't hurt anybody there. Yes, Kay, go ahead.
Can you define non-taxpayer?
Somebody non-resident of the county does not pay taxes in the county.
So non-resident and non-taxpayer? I suspect there are people that don't pay taxes that live here.
I suspect there's people that don't pay taxes anywhere.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, what I think the intent of this was, with the non-taxpayers are like transplant companies that come in and work and then evaporate, disappear.
So that you're talking about local taxes? Property taxes?
Yeah, they don't pay taxes in the county. They might pay state.
I would suggest you might want to clarify that. Would you love to go to court on that one? I mean, seriously.
I don't have it in my hands, so I mean,
I just think that non-taxpayer
Okay,
needs to be more precisely defined. I know what I think it is, but. Let me suggest something in the
I think the gist is we're going after the insurance companies, we're not going after people.
Yeah.
So,
Are you talking about the fourth paragraph there?
yeah, it says where,
It
Whereas.
says individuals not owning property or paying property
no,
taxes.
she says said fees from insurance companies and non-taxpayers shall establish a billing system in accordance with a lot of the state law and everything. Next one down, right above it, right here. The one right above it. I read that out of my glasses. Let me get that.
See, if I were an oil and gas person, I would argue that I pay federal taxes.
Well,
And that makes me a taxpayer.
we can alter that, I think, trouble.
That's what I'm suggesting, is just make that more along with what you really intend, which is, local taxes, property taxes. If that's it, it's non-property taxpayers, non-property taxpayers.
Non-resident, or non-taxpayers of Douglas County.
Dodge County property taxes.
But they would,
Federal
Excuse
taxes are
me.
they would
taxes.
pay,
David, ask David, doesn't the oil and gas industry pay?
Yeah, I think it's probably individuals, so.
Yeah. I think the intent was they're saying that these people don't pay taxes here.
Taxes.
Our billing setup just says non-resident when we have a traffic accident and they sign a refusal and we treat them. If they're a resident, we don't bill, but if they're a resident, we bill the insurance company. If they're not a resident, I mean. So ours doesn't have taxes, it says non-resident and pretty much goes through our billing line.
But how does that comply, like with all the handicaps we have in the county? I mean, theoretically, they're paying rent and they're living here while they're working here.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you have a situation where you have a lot of seniors with that farm, whatever it is, the Homestead Act.
Yep,
Well,
that's not, they still pay taxes, that's only a percentage, right, Dave?
Yeah.
He wouldn't give me any, he said I'm not old enough. Must have been my wife claimed it, because I wasn't old enough.
I mean, I would think 99% of this is going to become from insurance companies anyway.
She said that would just solve things. She said the insurance companies, when they said, do you have an ordinance? Then she gives a copy of something, yes, we can send it to them. And she said that most of them, like we thought we could bill for time on scene and stuff like that. She said, no, you can bill for sweeping the road. If you're there 4 hours and you swept the road and you did this and you did this and you did this, she said, list all that, we can bill for all that. She said time won't seem, no, they won't pay. But, you know, if they're tying the truck up, something like, she said, if you use a bucket of foam, yes, they'll pay that. She said, if you send town for drinking water, they'll pay that. But, you know, if you're sitting there if you're standing there on scene directing traffic for 5 hours, they won't talk to you about it. She said it's real funny. I guess that's the way with billing anything like that. You gotta know the ins and outs. And,
What are you gonna change from this paragraph? Anything?
well, I would change it to non-tax paying residents of Doddridge County. No.
Non-resident.
Tax paying. Non-resident taxpayers, property taxpayers of Doddridge County. Would that work? Non-resident property taxpayers of Doddridge County?
Well, if you're still saying, I like just non-residents
Yeah,
myself.
just.
Okay.
And in addition, I hate to split hairs, but still, if you don't put the preposition from in front of it, it sounds like it's insurance and non-residents. So you have to say from insurance companies and from non-residents.
Okay.
Or you have a compound,
Non-residents.
yeah.
Well, works
Characteristic.
for me.
Okay.
I don't, like I said,
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a catch-all for people who don't have car insurance or, you know, I mean, there's,
well, our intent is here to go after the insurance companies and the oil and gas companies to replace our equipment. And
yeah,
you guys lost, what, 2 sets of gear out there at Charlie
and
Lyons?
they're all gonna have insurance.
Okay,
I understand.
and that's
I'm talking about this here. You don't want this to be insurance.
$2,200 a set.
Put from in
So
both.
you're talking about $6,000, $8,000 worth of gear. And that was supposed to happen, you know, stop the stuff. That's what our problem is they're eating us up on the things, and we have a hard enough time keeping up with the regulations that are out there, let alone the, you know. But,
So if we make the change, that means that we have to carry this over to the next meeting.
you can verbally, you can physically pencil it in and sign it, yeah.
I penciled mine in red.
Brain not working good today. Wrong with that. But that's the reason I'm here tonight. We also, the other night, put the hazmat trailer, there's a request went to the 911 center, and it'll be put on dispatch for any transportation accidents as a slow dispatch. It won't be, a slow response. It has to be towed by one of the other vehicles, and we officially give it a number of 803. So we have a dispatch number for it, and they will start proceeding slowly to all the accidents because it's not an initial type situation, and it's set up so it can be towed by any of the fire departments, but it's basically resides at Smithburg right now, and it's going to start responding to, I faxed a letter down to the 911 center today, so it should start responding. Now, our goal was to get the equipment, it's all packed, it's all outfitted. What was the amount of that stuff the other day, Beth?
I just mixed that this morning.
Like $600? We physically went and bought absorption pads, rope buoys, for dams. We finished stocking out what we didn't have, so it's totally stocked. We're waiting right now on one piece of equipment, Geiger counter, and that's the only additional piece of equipment. But it will be, you will start seeing it out on the road in the county responding to these but it will be a slow response. It's not going to be a 90-mile-an-hour sliding around the turnpike. Thus, David's driving. He's got a reputation on it. Okay, that's.
I got a question on
Yes, sir.
section 4.
Section 4.
All amounts collected as a result of this ordinance shall be placed in a fund established by the fire department to be used exclusively for personnel, supplies, and equipment.
Right.
Now, who's going to monitor each fire department?
That, when the state comes in to audit you, we're automatically audited through the state fire marshal's office
Okay.
every 2 years. And they do a complete audit on all your funds, and then they audit what they call the state fire marshal funds.
Okay.
But the individual departments are audited through the state fire marshal office. And, you know, that says that they can replace the gear, we can replace the supplies out of the trailer, we can't go buy beer and hot dogs and
Okay.
you know, stuff like that.
So every department is understanding this is how it's supposed to be?
Yes, they'll have to,
Okay.
we suggested, Tommy suggested the other day when I talked to him, he didn't make the meeting, I took this stuff down to him. He suggested maybe we just keep a different line item in the budget for this money. You do what each department can do with what we want. We decided that the other night, or we talked about the other night, we're going to replace the supplies in the trailer first, and then we'll divide the money, and each department's responsible for the diversification of the money after that, because if Smithburg and West Union and Greenwood go to a scene, only one person will bill. So they'll get the check and then they'll have to take care of it. The other thing we liked about the billing company was that all the money comes to us and then we pay the billing company. It's not, it all goes to them, gets skimmed off before.
Does this go to the UCF&R?
No, each fire department.
Each fire department gets their own. So it shall be, where B needs to be added, by the way. Established by the fire departments, plural. See, that's what it reads
For
like.
fire departments, yeah, I see what you're saying. That
Okay.
should have an S.
Yeah, okay.
Told you I was up to 12 words.
All the questions I have. Questions from Greg? Well, I'll make a motion that we adopt this ordinance.
With the change?
With the change. I made my change on my copy and
Well, there only has to be one copy signed and it'll go in
right.
the best and we'll get copies of it later.
Do what?
That's the other question I had. Can we do this in one meeting or do we have to have 3 readings? Or?
I don't know, I wouldn't think we read it.
Well, if you want to, it doesn't matter because it's going to take us a while to get started anyway. So we better do this every 3 meetings anyway, so we can.
Didn't that issue come up about the floodplain ordinance?
I don't know.
It did.
Yes, it did.
It did.
So we need to.
And no,
No.
what was determined then was that if we wanted to do it, if we wanted to have 2 readings or 3 readings, we could, but we could pass it on the first reading. That was what the determination was then.
I remember that.
That's on video.
Pardon?
That's on video.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I'm not in favor of having 3 meetings, I'm ready.
Okay.
I don't want to see you back here 2 more times.
Okay. See, I told you didn't much.
I made a motion, we accept the ordinance. All in favor, aye? All opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to be out of town for about 8 days. Mike's in charge. Everybody knows what's going on, so if any problems, talk to me. And I didn't leave him a card yet. We're going to Disney on that.
So a date has not been selected to start the billing
We
process?
accept August 1st. We're going to bill back to August 1st.
I'll bill
The
back,
last
that's
meeting,
right.
starting in August 1st. And I talked to the lady the other night about that, and she said that wasn't a problem. I know some of the fire departments are already been stacking up the run sheets and stuff, so.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff. Are you ready to move on, clerk? Are you ready? Are you ready to move on? Okay. County website, progress report.
I talked to Greg and decided to keep this on because I have got a proposal already that's from Revise, R-E-V-I-Z-E, county website design, CMS and website hosting. They did a teleconference with myself and David Spaulding and one of his deputies who has worked with websites before. So they have set up a proposal and I gave each one of you a copy. So we just kind of want everybody to know that we have received something. Did you determine, David, is this the same one in Marion County that you talked about at the last meeting? This is the same company. Excuse me, which county? Marion. And this is the same one that David talked about at the last meeting.
You say they do Marion counties or they're from Marion County?
They did Marion County's website.
Okay. Where are they from?
So we have over 650 active government clients, including Marion County, West Virginia.
Do they have an
County,
address?
But I don't see. You know where they're from, David? I don't see
I'm looking through this, they're out of Michigan.
Michigan. And the new revised website, the county, I'm just going to kind of highlight the things, will benefit residents by being the go-to place at any time to find answers to questions about county services. Will benefit businesses by providing instant access to county information and regulation, as well as links to online permitting and fee payments. Will benefit prospective homeowners and business owners by offering a comprehensive profile of the community, including photos, demographics, school test scores, things like that. Will benefit visitors by presenting an engaging, enticing view of the county. Specific functions for visitors and include driving and public transit options, maps of the downtown central business districts, and so forth. Will benefit county employees by being able to direct people to details on the website or to an online permit application. It will be easy to maintain with users from each department authorized to post, edit, and delete specific content. Will benefit service providers who serve both homeowners and business owners planning to remodel or add on to their home or businesses who need access to up-to-date information. Will benefit citizens and those who govern the county by providing them a platform for digital democracy. Examples of such tech-enabled governance would be the ease with which citizens can participate in policy-making processes of the county. So that's some highlights of what they offer.
Have you received any other companies on that? I realize that's still through September.
Yeah, that's the only one I have received so far.
Okay, they've got a telephone number and email address.
No, just, it said Marion County, it was a which state or where in the county. And I suspect we would still have a solicitation for bids after this.
I think that we ought to have a committee that, that will oversee this and make a recommendation or because personally I don't have any knowledge of how to set up a website. And I think that also I don't have any real knowledge of what should be on a website. So I think I think that we ought to set up a committee to review this and make a recommendation to us. What do you vote?
Who suggest get on this committee? How do we get this?
Well, I happened to be talking to Dave Spannagel the other day on a different matter, and I asked him if he would be interested in being on it. And he's got an employee that's very knowledgeable. But I think we could probably come up with two or three others, or we don't want to get a committee that's going to be so large that it's going to be cumbersome.
How many people would you like to have on this committee?
Suggestions, Dave?
Suggestion, how many people would you like to have?
5, no more than 7.
5, no more than 7. What do you think, Phil?
I think
That'd be good.
Can I make a suggestion? I mean, it's pretty obvious you want people that have like an interest, like county officials or whatever to be on it. But I think it'd also be advantageous to have a county resident that's not affiliated with the courthouse on it, because it is the county residents that will be using it, and sometimes just having that perspective of how somebody views it or what's, going to be on it might give a different, venue or whatever to make it more usable. Because sometimes if you've got the techno nerds, it's like the way they think, even though, they do a fantastic job, but they don't sometimes dumb down to like what a normal person. Well, well, you know what I'm saying, right? I mean, like, it sounds, I'm not trying to be derogatory, but how I do it and how Greg might do it might be different from the way a technically savvy person would do it. So, to have somebody test it that's normal would add value to it.
How many normal people's in this room?
Well, we'd be stretching that one out.
Okay.
No, I agree with you. I'm not sure that I agree with your wording, but
Yeah, well, you get the gist of it.
but no, I agree. You need someone.
Very good point. Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Should we, if Dave agrees, then let him choose?
Let him choose the committee.
Is that okay with you?
I would rather not have, you asked me if I would serve on this committee. And I would, but I would rather.
You would rather somebody else designate the people?
Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't know much about this at all, and that's why I was relying on my employee to kind of.
Why couldn't we do it this way? Why couldn't we announce in the newspaper that what we're looking for, and make you the contact person, and as far as people who might like to serve on this committee? Would that work?
I think it would be better for you all.
I see.
A few individuals that you think might have some input on and go from there.
Yeah, you're right about that. She said you might get more than you bargained for.
We might get somebody that's not normal.
You might get more than what you.
I know.
Well, we can probably between us, we can come up with the individuals.
May I ask you?
You've got a little time there because you still have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, he's already said September 30th. What papers was this advertised in? Where did the advertisements go out?
Did it around one time in each one of those? Two times.
Isn't there a state website that you could advertise this on? Like the school system has a job openings website. Is there something within the county association that you could actually put it out on their website that you're looking for someone?
The state has a procurement division that handles the procurements for the different state departments. They have a website, it's something similar to the Federal Register concept, where they advertise for jobs that, they're looking to hire people for. That might be a possibility. They might be willing to advertise there for the county. It is purely a service organization.
Have to be fairly quickly if we maintain the September 30th date.
But even if it's too late to do that, that also might be a decent venue for advertising, because you will need to do an RFP, otherwise known as a solicitation for bids, okay? And that might be a place to advertise there.
I suppose you could check that out.
It's the procurement division for the state of West Virginia. No place to get your hand.
Well, we can come up with a team probably in a week or so, and then as long as they're in place by the end of the month when the proposals and the information is.
First meeting, first place will be in the first meeting in October is the first. Is that on the agenda for first?
I would say so.
Can I ask a question about the young man who was here presented information of the service that they provide for a number of different organizations? Have they responded? Are they interested? Or did he assume that his presentation
I
was?
talked to him and he was going to submit something.
So he's still interested. So there are two who expressed interest in it.
Okay, we need a motion for this. We need a motion to
Form the committee.
form this committee.
Probably, just to be on the safe side.
Okay, you want that motion?
I make a motion to form a committee for the website.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay, the ayes have it. Motion is carried.
First,
Sure.
on these, on the first,
Yeah, we
the
probably
names for
should
the
be.
first.
Okay. Job description for the executive assistant.
If y'all recall, I asked if I had the description at the last meeting, and I had asked for, prior to that, I'd asked for any suggestions. I received none, so I came up with a job description, basically, or very similar to what I passed out the last time. So if anybody wants to see that, I've got some copies here.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
I don't see grants on here. I thought, am I just not catching the word? which is a real possibility. Grants is needed. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
local grants is
I'm
needed.
sorry. It's
Right. Number 11.
Got it, thank you.
I knew it was in there somewhere, but I,
Yeah, okay.
I put in a call to the County Commissioners Association to see if they might give me some sort of idea or guidance on pay scales. They apparently were out and haven't gotten back with me yet, so that would be something that we would have to be determined, I guess. Now,
We need a motion to accept this. We haven't accepted this job description yet, have we?
no,
Okay.
So it looks like you might be looking for a full-time position?
my thought is initially part-time. And then we'll just have to wait and see. It depends on, probably depends on the person and depends on various factors. I'd like to see it part-time first. It may turn into full-time fairly quickly. That would be my suggestion. Yes, I think that we need to get the ball rolling myself.
Okay.
So we need to either write a job description, an ad, or see if someone would help us along that line. Okay, would you be?
I'll do a draft for you to consider. Okay? And hire a lot of people in my life.
So we're ready to advertise in the paper, is that what you're saying?
Well, we have to probably at the next I would assume at the next meeting you would have that, and then.
Yeah. Actually, what I'll do if you want one is I will email this to you. Okay? And unless I don't have your email address, I will email it to all three of you. A draft.
If I don't have one, I'll just put work and I'm not found.
I'll email it to two of you. Okay? And I'll do it quickly so you can back and
So,
forth on it.
we'll be on our next meeting on the agenda. Okay. All right, thank you.
I might get a computer pretty soon.
United Summit Center, appointment of board member.
United Summit Center nominating committee met on Wednesday, August 28, 2014. Jennifer Moman, MD, has been nominated for a 3-year term on the board of United Summit Center Inc. beginning in January 2014. I request that the Dutton County Commission approve the appointment of Jennifer Moman, MD, to a 3-year term as a member of the United Summit Center Inc. Board of Directors beginning in January 2014. Sincerely, Robert Williams, PhD, Executive Director of the United Summit Center.
I'd like to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. Motion carried.
I don't understand why you guys need to approve a Summit Center board member.
There's one, I think, the lady called me about this. She said there's one that would do this academy position.
Because of the position.
She just said the commission appoints one.
And the appointee's name is Jennifer.
Jennifer
Jennifer
Moman.
Moman, M-O-M-E-N.
So she's like she represents the county on the board. Is that, Summit Center is like a 3-county board and, okay, now
Is she a county resident?
I know.
I think it just has to have someone
This is the first request.
to represent each county.
Okay? All right. Item E, meeting of extension, at the extension office. Discussion on consolidation of EMS agencies.
Guess I'm up again.
You're up, Greg.
All right. I have talked with the various organizations, and I've talked with Mr. Rick Rock, and after consulting with our assistant prosecutor, it is going to have to be considered a county commission meeting for all 3 county commissioners to be able to attend. So Wednesday evening, September 25th. I guess that'd be a week from tomorrow. At 7 p.m. at the extension office. And we've invited the board of directors of the EMS. We've invited the board of directors of the ambulance authority. And since this is a county commission meeting, it's a public meeting. So the feedback that I've received thus far has been positive. And I think that most people will come into this with, like I said, a positive attitude, and hopefully we can accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. And it's been a long, bruising affair, but we can come together and we can come out of this with an organization that is that has patient care as the primary objective. What we're going to do is let Mr. Rock make his presentation, and then the two boards will make their individual decision, because obviously they are going to have to make that decision. And like I say, hopefully everyone will come into it with an open mind, and we can come together. It's not going to be an overnight process. It's going to take a considerable amount of time, but as I've said many times, if we can come together and if we can reduce the amount of money that Doddridge County has to subsidize emergency services by, then that gives us more money for other things that we need to be looking at. Plus, it only makes sense. Any organization, any business, you need to live within your means. And so, if we can get much closer to that, then we can make some real advances in emergency services here in Doddridge County. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. at the Extension office downtown. If anybody, I'm kind of anticipating that there are probably going to be several people there, so I will talk with Smokey Travis and see if we can utilize some of their parking, because there's not a lot of parking there at the Extension service. So I will take care of that. That's what I have.
I just worry about the animal authority being destroyed.
Well, as I indicated, it's not a situation where anybody is attempting to destroy. It's a situation where we are trying to solve problems and reduce the amount of money that we, I hate to say subsidize, but that's the fact. And you know, if the intent was to destroy the ambulance authority, I think it should be fairly apparent to everybody that could have been accomplished first meeting this year, if that was the intent. It was not, and the intent is, as I've always stated, to have the best service that we can have at the cheapest amount of money to the county. And that's what this is all about. It's not about destroying, it's about building a new organization that can sustain with a smaller amount of subsidy.
All right.
And Ms. Robinson, just to clarify, not necessarily the cheapest, but yet the most efficient and cost providing that provides the highest level of patient care to the residents which the county can afford. Would probably be, I mean, I don't want to think that, you know, we're going to go down to the bare minimum and pay minimum wage for employees to do patient care, because with that, you know, you're going to have people leaving to go get jobs that pays more money than minimum wage. So cheapest is not always the best.
Well, what we have to look at is what other organizations are paying for their labor rates, and you know, that will be something that is decided upon by the new board. And it's not something that I would want, even if I could, to dictate. This would be a function of this new organization that I can foresee, and they will be looking at all aspects. They will be looking at retirement policies. They will be looking at health insurance. And it will be the job or the function of a new board to set that up. Once again, if we have the goal of patient care and, I say cheapest, you say most efficient, what we're looking for is to reduce the amount of money that Doddridge County, once again, I'm using that word, subsidizes the emergency services.
Right, that's what you're saying there. The other question that I would have is, when you originally had spoke at one of the commission meetings and our board meeting, and here, was that you was looking at hiring a consultant to come in and look at both services, look at the tax base, look at the residents, look at the whole picture, rather than just, mainstreaming, and make a recommendation to the county commission on what they feel would be the proper avenue for the emergency services for this county. But to my understanding, you had a meeting with Mr. Roth, and you made a mention that you thought it would be a good idea, and he thought, well, that'd be a good idea too. And he's putting together a presentation to speak with us on the 25th. Is he going to ask for financials from both organizations and then come back to the board and try to work with, or is he just going to be a liaison between the commission and the two services to try to smooth things? I mean, I'm not against merging. I mean, we're working together great, and please don't take that as anything out of that. But as I spoke with you at your residence, this is a business, and in order to merger, I think we need to take the whole picture into effect, and do the best we can do for the county and what the county can afford. I mean, obviously, like we talked, you can't afford a Cadillac or a Pinto budget. So let's go for a Chevy. It's right in between, and that's what I'm looking at. But I hope that, with Mr. Roth and yourself when you spoke, that he is coming in as a consult to look at both agencies and then make a recommendation to the commission. I know the boards are going to talk and decide if they want to merge. There's a whole lot of information and a whole lot more stuff, like you said. This ain't going to happen overnight, that they're going to have to discuss before, they can say, yeah, I think it's a good idea we come together. But the person putting that together, to my understanding, is going to be a consultant, and I'm just confused, and that's why I'm asking.
Well, Mr. Rock is the person that I contacted, and I told him what I would like to see, and that was his recommendation, was his initial recommendation. Now, once again, this is a process, and we aren't going to accomplish anything without some problems. And that's what a new board, if that's what is determined, that will occur. A new company, a new nonprofit organization, and it will take the cooperation of both organizations. And if one organization says absolutely not, then we're back to step one. But that's just, the first thing we have to do is sit down and talk. As to give you an answer as to You know, what is going to occur at this point, I can't tell you. I can only tell you what I would like to see occur. But you've got two different organizations, two different boards, and it's going to take cooperation between those. And so this is the first step. It's not necessary to go to the end result, and there may be other factors that, you know, that I am not aware of, that he may be, that you may be, that the EMS may be aware of. But once again, you bring those issues up, and somebody says, okay, let's solve the problem. That's what you do when you negotiate and come up with a solution to a problem. You know, one organization may not get everything at once, and the other organization may not get everything at once, but when it all comes together, it should be a superior organization. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Randy wasn't at the meeting the other night. Rick Rock was asked to be the consultant, but he volunteered his services for free, right?
Yes.
Okay. Second thing, has anybody checked to see if Doddridge County can get the third certificate of need to set up the third organization? That was what was brought to my attention. We've already got 2 EMS agencies in county. Are you going to be able to get a third certificate of need?
You don't have to have a certificate of need to start an ambulance service. I could come in tomorrow and say, I want to start up Randy Flynn's ambulance service. I could start it up without the commission's approval. I want to start doing transports. And then come in to the commission and say, can I run emergencies? Then that's when the county would have to get with the agency and say, do we need a third ambulance to run emergencies? And they can decline it. That's all operated by the commission, but you don't need a certificate of need to start another service.
Okay, my next statement here. In doing this, I know Shirley hates to get rid of the DCAA, but there are citizens in this county that would hate to see the DCMS go to. Okay? I'm done.
I think it's a matter of not wanting to get rid of either service. I think it's a matter of, there's been a lot of hostility, a lot of battering and confusion brought about by the two organizations. So I don't think it's a matter of wanting to get rid of either one of them. It's just a matter of finding a neutral ground to where the citizens can have affordable health care and the county can afford to operate. I think that's our goal and our process. And just so it's done fairly and laid out evenly on the table, I don't think either side will have a problem with it, and I think it'll go across smoothly. It's just got to be straight up on the field. That's all there is to it.
Well, and that's why I say that everyone involved needs, you know, the thought of patient care to be foremost. And I have no doubt, that both organizations feel that patient care is foremost.
I agree.
And if we all keep that in mind, forget about the problems of the past. I mean, learn from the problems of the past, but put them behind us. We can solve this.
I have one final question. Greg, what did it take for you to get the two boards to agree to come to the table together?
Just ask them. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it had been tried long before as well.
To my knowledge, it's never been tried.
I don't think it has.
And that was,
When it first started, it was.
It wasn't.
When it first started, they tried to come together and talk. There's records of it.
I remember attending a meeting
Trying to get
many,
together.
They didn't
times
exist
ago.
at that point in time, whenever it first started.
I don't recall it ever being publicized anyway.
No, I don't think that was.
But I will just once again reiterate that, in my opinion, that was the huge, giant error that was made way back when.
It really doesn't matter, you're moving forward, which is
Right.
wonderful. And if everybody's willing to come to the table to talk, that can only have a positive outcome. So, I think that's commendable. To start rehashing the past is a waste of everyone's time.
That's right, thanks.
So,
Yeah, it's been spoken about quite a lot in the past, and that's what we want to put behind us.
good.
Both organizations agreed to sit down and talk, and to me, that's a giant step forward to me, because before, I hate you, you hate me, we hate each other, but now at least they talk back and forth. Maybe we can get somewhere. I hope we can. We have to do something. Yes, sir.
I'm just assuming it'll be up to the new board of directors, this merged board or whatever.
If
If it takes place, yeah. To set standards for patient care, response, education, training. They will now be the go-to people when it comes to how do we set this up.
At least my thought is that, no, there won't be 3 organizations in Doddridge County after this. There will be 1 organization. And that organization will be the combination of the 2. And as I said in the meeting last time, what I would like to see is the best of both organizations come together and leaving the past behind. And once again, I'm confident that we can accomplish that.
Thank you. Letter of support. Our community foundation.
I thought they had sent a letter in, but I haven't gotten it yet, so.
Okay, Dan Weldon, flood plan manager. Maybe before you start, she has a question for you.
Okay. Who is it?
Mariana?
I'm
No?
not going there.
Okay, never mind. Come on up, give your
Thank you,
report.
but I'm not going there.
Okay.
Do
Give us
you
your
have any
report.
handouts?
Pardon?
You have any handouts on your report?
I have pending permits and one approved.
Do you have those 2 copies?
Pardon?
Do you have 2 copies?
Yep, we got 3.
Can I have one also, please?
Well, you got 2 reporters under you. Is that okay?
She said he had 3.
He has 3.
Cover ball games and stuff,
What
so.
happened to your ambulance parked along the road?
She blew up, sir. We think that's the issue. It's the second motor. Jackson County EMS has went through 3 of the same motors. St. Joe Hospitals went through 2 of the same motors, and now we're on our second motor. So it should be under warning, but it's already towed to Astor's. And they're going to look at it and see if it's the turbo that went or if the motor locked. But on the way to the call this morning for the second ambulance for the accident, they heard a pop and the motor stopped and it wouldn't turn over. So we emptied the equipment out and had it towed in. So hopefully, Astor's will call me more good news. It was something minor, but
Ford.
yes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, on the floodplain permits, I have 2 permits that are pending that we have until October the 6th for a comment period on. EQT Gathering has a pipeline removal replacement project, which is located near Middle Island School on Mike Travis's property on Route 18 South and Meat House Ford. And Crestwood Victoria Compressor Station is a compressor station they're building on a ridge over in the Flint area, and they're going to be going in and out of Bald's Run off of the Flint Road. Bald's Run is the next road west of the old car school along there. Jack boring lives at the mouth of that hollow. And they're going to be widening that where it goes off the county road right there to get access in and out. And that is in the very edge of the floodplain right there. As far as approved, I approved the moose site Mark West had, which we had a letter from Clarence Dwayne Evans on voicing his concerns and all there. I thoroughly went over their study that they had done by CEC, Civil Environmental Consultants, looked it over from one end to the other. The maximum change that is going to occur anywhere along any of the work that they are doing is 0.005 or 5/100ths of a foot. We're talking 5/8 of an inch is the most that their study says they're going to impact any of the floodplain. And that they are not going to impact the floodplain any whatsoever near the two properties that Wayne made reference to. So I had basically no choice but to go ahead and approve that permit. It was approved on the 9th day of September 2013. And those are the only permits that I have. I don't think there was anything else. I would like to ask the board if they would, or commission if they would, to go into executive session at this time to discuss a personnel matter.
I'll make a motion to go into.
Motion made to go into executive session to discuss personnel. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Okay. Make a motion to go back in regular session. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Nay. Ayes have it. We're back in regular session at 5:26. And we have nothing else except oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. We do have another, okay. I need a break. I'm going on a break. Sorry.
I assume that there were no actions coming out of the executive session. Right.
No action. No action. No action. No action.
Rip. Everybody want a white schnauzer, do you? Which works is what
And you have an extra.
my sister-in-law called me today, and their son has moved in an apartment and can't take his little dog.
Anyone staying here? I've got to move 2 dogs and 3 cats.
Oh,
I live you never go here, you never can have it. I've already started figuring how I'm gonna get them out there. And got that pretty well figured out. And already got the house I'm gonna move to. And I'm gonna have plenty of time to because I haven't sold my house here, you know, to get things set up at that house, so accommodate them. You just have to make it, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, the guy didn't think of it. Unless he was forced to move and just had no other alternatives in terms of the dog. People don't,
I know they don't
think like
think
that.
30 years old, don't they?
Well, at least it's in.
Okay. Wage and hour practice. I almost forgot that. Sorry.
We probably need to go into executive session on this one.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to go to executive session.
Okay, motion made for an executive session at 5:29. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Ayes have it. The executive session. make a motion to go back to regular session. 5:56. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Back to the regular session.
Okay, I will make a request of our assistant prosecutor that she contact the West Virginia Division of Wages, Labor, I believe that's what it's called. West Virginia Division of Labor, I'm sorry, and discuss the issue of the repairs by Traditions Group, and convey to them that a lot of these repairs were emergency repairs. I also asked that Beth put on the next agenda that the county commission discuss the practice of releasing information without a freedom of information request. That we discuss the possibility of only releasing information through a freedom of information request. That's my,
Motion?
yes.
Motion has been made. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. All we have left is invoices. Correct?
Yep.
I'll skip another now.
I have a question. Why is it necessary for your attorney to talk with the Division of Labor?
They have an ongoing investigation, and the commission has just asked me to speak with them to see if there are any questions they may have that I can clarify on behalf of the commission.
And he said it's in regard to the repairs by the Traditions Group at the courthouse.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back to Clarksburg, see you all next time.
Hey, be careful.